Adalita, welcome back to Australian Musician.
Thank you for having me.
Tell me, who was the first band or artist that sent you down the alternative rock road?
Oh, wow. That's a great one. Well, I grew up in Geelong around the Barn Club scene. So around the start of uni, I started listening to Triple R radio and heard a lot of like punk music and then all sorts of other different music like Steve Kilby's Earthed and Unearthed records and Susie and the Banshees and stuff like that. And then lots of skater punk like Circle Jerks and Dead Kennedys and stuff like that. And then at the Barn Club, I started going there and seeing local bands. So I would say it was sort of a mixture of radio and like, you know, friends, listening to friends' music, and then local bands in the Geelong scene like Warped and Bored, and then other bands like Splatterheads who weren't local but they played there a lot, Meanies, things like that. But I reckon it was the radio route that really exposed me to alternative music. And then my favourite bands were bands like Dinosaur Jr., Pixies, Mudhoney, Stooges, MC5, things like that were like the ones I really started buying records for, and they were really influential.
Yeah. And how many of those bands have you actually supported or met?
A lot. It's crazy. Like the first gig that the first big support we ever got was literally about maybe 3 gigs in or something like that when we just started. And we got the Sonic Youth support like at the Prince of Wales in Melbourne. And it was unbelievable. Like, and then I've supported Jay Mascis, but solo wise. But Magic Dirt has supported Dinosaur Jr. and so many of those bands. Like it's crazy. Like, and bands like John Spencer and Beck, and yeah, it's nuts. Really nuts. Yeah.
Magic Dirt has formed a large, loyal audience. Well, what were the main factors that got you there? Because when you started, there was no social media. MySpace didn't start till 2003, Facebook in 2006. What were the elements that found that audience for you?
I don't know. We've just always loved crowds and loved talking to fans and hanging out with them, and we feel like we're the same, like we're just like them, like we're just creating music that we want to hear, and then these other people come and they listen to it, so we're one sort of big community. But we had our own fan club, like when Magic Dirt had a share house, and during that time we were really close as a band, so we spent a lot of time together, and we had a PO box. So fans would write in and we'd answer every single letter, and we'd do just funny little things, just include little things in the envelopes back to them, like, I don't know, stickers or something, but then like really silly things, like, stupid things like a piece of lint or something, just like, just fun things. But the fans loved it, so we've built our fan base from the get-go, just from talking after shows or signing stuff or taking photos. Like I remember the first time we had to sign stuff, like, was wild, but it was just another way to say g'day to the people that loved our music, and to have that connection and have that opportunity to have a conversation with the people that are getting your music and they love it and they have a connection to it is like big part of it all. So when social media came and the internet came, that was just we used that as an extension of what we were already doing at the grassroots level. It's hugely important. We still do it. We go to the merch desk. We spend like over an hour, sometimes 2 hours after the show talking to everyone. Yeah. It's really important.
What's the piece of merch that you're most proud
of? Once we made a pair of undies. Yeah, sold out straight away. That was a good one.
Magic Dirt in the 90s was in the middle of the grunge era. Alt rock was really huge, big day out days. Did you realise that you were part of such an important scene at the time?
I reckon. Yeah, I think so. I mean, when Nirvana hit, we all lost our minds. You know, I think the phone call was placed at exactly the same time when that clip played in Victoria. Everyone's picking up the phone. Are you watching this? Yeah, I think we definitely had some sense that we were right in the maelstrom, right in the middle of that beautiful storm of a genre of grunge, you know, and it had been building. Like, when you look back, you can see when it was building, like in the late 80s, very early 90s, and kids were wearing the flannies because they were going to the disposal stores and they were just poor, and it was just a thing you bought, you know, and then suddenly it became chic, or, you know, the thing to buy. But yeah, I mean, we felt what we were doing was really important to us, and it was definitely a huge guitar movement, like loud guitars, distorted guitars. Everyone was looking for pedals and amps and honing their sound and their craft, but having fun doing it, and not being earnest about it, but just being totally obsessed, you know, with what we were doing. And yeah, and then all the other bands around us locally, and then domestically, and then internationally. It was just such a massive thing that was going on. But you were just riding it like a wave. You were just in it and enjoying it, and you were part of it. But yeah, we definitely knew it was big. Yeah.
What's the biggest lesson that you learned from the early days that you've carried right through your career?
I think it's that old cliche of trying to be true to yourself and doing what makes you happy first, and trying to be authentic in that way and doing what you want to do. I think that, and even to the extent where it's not that you don't care what the fans think, it's just that you can't. You can't care what anyone's going to think or say about what you're creating. You have to tuck yourself away, you know, hermetically seal yourself. That's what I do. And just don't worry. Don't worry what anyone's going to think or judge what you're doing. Just be in the moment and create, and just, it's so joyful. It's just a state of bliss when you're just creating in that moment. So I think that, and trying to just keep staying in that, because these days there's a lot of what people call noise. I guess there always has been, but there's even more now with digital technology and stuff. So you're in everyone's lounge room. It's everyone, the community is global. So I try to cut that out, because sometimes that can interfere. Yeah, but that's my job, to not let that interfere. It's not anyone else's fault. Yeah.
That guitar that you're holding has been such a large part of your music life. We've spoken to you before about the guitar, but while we're here, let's go back and recall where it came from and what it means to you.
Thank you, mate. Yeah, I appreciate it. This guitar has been with me since I got it in 1996, pretty sure. It's been assessed as maybe a late 60s, early 70s, like 69 or 70 SG Gibson. And I bought it, I reckon it cost around maybe 2,000 at the time, maybe less, maybe 1,500. Came with an original case, which I wish I brought today to show you. Beautiful case, velvet interior. So I got it in San Francisco. Wish I could remember the name of the shop. If anyone knows, I thought it was called Black Market Music in San Francisco, where the guitars all hang down off the roof. Like, there were like millions of guitars, like, well, maybe not millions, but like scores of them hanging down. It was like you were wading through seaweed, and this one was hanging, and I just got it down, and it's beautiful. It's got like, I've not been able to find a guitar as good as this ever. I've got about 2 or 3 different SGs, and I've had lots over time, which I've really liked. But this one I always come back to. The other SG I had that I bought in the States is with Tim Guitars in Brisbane, and that is now a higher guitar. And I recently took it on tour to play it, but it's got too many energies in it. Like, it's not mine anymore, so it's just the community's, so it's up there with Tim. But this is the one that has stuck with me, and it's a beautiful guitar. The sustain's incredible, the tone is incredible, and it's just a workhorse. I will never find a guitar as good as this. It's very precious. It's been really knocked around. I loved smashing my equipment, which I know a lot of people really hate, and I get it, cop a lot for that, but that's just what I did, because, you know, it just had energy and had to get it out. But this has been cracked on the neck here, you can see there. So it's been glued back on with probably industrial strength horse-based glue or something, which as a vegan I'm not into, but hey, that's what it was put onto it, so that's what. So now it's really strong. It hasn't cracked, it hasn't moved, but yeah, I just adore it. It's got a lot of stickers on the back. It's got an original Born to Skate shop sticker from when Dean was working at Born to Skate, which is this old skate shop in Geelong. It's not there anymore, but I've still got the sticker. So this is even more precious because of that. Yeah, so yeah, it's really, really old guitar, and yeah,
Who
sturdy.
looks after it, maintains it for you?
Well, a few people. Lately it's been John Shub Guitars in Melbourne, and Found Sound sometimes will help set it up. But I do have to get it serviced shortly because the intonation does go out, and the tuning, it's a little bit hard to tune these sorts of SGs, I find. They're quite liquidy. The neck moves around, but it's just beautiful. The neck's so long and skinny and thin, and the action's low. That's how I love it. Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah.
We've spoken about the Magic Dirt days. The first solo album, how different was that from making a band album?
Hugely different, really hard work, playing it live, because I'd never played solo. When you have a band, you're protected and you're not exposed as you are when you're solo. When I mean solo, like I was solo when I first started. I had another bandmate, JP Shiloh, who played on the solo record, and he accompanied me live, so that really helped. But yeah, I mean, Dean suggested I do the solo thing. I never had thought of it, and then he was really adamant. I was like, well, okay, I'll give it a go. So then it just took off. Yeah, but I'm glad I did, because some of those songs would never see the light of day, and I think there's some good songs that deserve to be out there.
And where are you at with another solo album?
Thanks for asking. I have a lot of material from the past. I've written some new stuff, and I hope to definitely write a 4th album at some stage. The ideas are percolating and it's all there, but I just have to write, you know, more songs. I just want to write more stuff, and I've got an idea. But there's a lot I'd like to release. But yeah, I've got to find the time to sit down and work out exactly what I want to do. But it will be on its way at some point, but not right now, because there's other things going on. Yeah.
Other things you
Yes.
can talk about?
Bleak Squad. Yeah, that's what's going on.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Thinking more Magic Dirt?
Oh yeah, definitely. That's the other thing that's happening is we're writing new material. Yeah, writing a new record. Yeah, our 6th record. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th. I think it's the 6th one. Yeah.
Well, that's good news.
Yeah, we're right in the middle of it now. Writing.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've also just finished the Give Peace a Chance Lennon tribute with Diesel, Steve Kilbey, Isabella Manfredi, Kev Mitchell, Ash Naylor. How much fun was that?
Oh, it was so good. So good. I have loved John Lennon since I was a kid, and learning his songs has been surprisingly easy. Just being able to retain it in my goldfish memory, which is really hard. I've done a lot of tribute shows now, but this one was the easiest. John Lennon just has a great way of writing, and the cast was incredible. The audiences were great. People were coming to the shows, and it was just so great to sing these songs, which seem, you know, even more relevant now with just, you know, so much bad stuff is going on, you know. It was such a soothing show to be on because John Lennon was, of course, such a visionary and such a calming influence, you know, even though he had sort of ups and downs, you know, with his personal life and his career. But yeah, just a real soothing for the soul, you know, and really amazing songs. Yeah, it was great to do.
Yeah. In 2007, you were on the front cover of Australian Musician with Claire Bowditch. And Claire interviewed you. One of the things that you said to Claire was that you wanted to write a romantic love story, and the other thing was a book of poetry. Are you any closer to realising any of those goals?
Romantic love story. I would love to do a film. I've still, yes and yes to both. I'm still have a dream of creating a great Australian feature film, which would contain some sort of love story narrative in it for sure. That would be probably at the centre of it. And I definitely would love to release, I have a bunch of poetry and drawings and creative things that would be great to get out there definitely at some point. And photography as well. I'd love to exhibit and release a book of photos I've been collecting over the years that I've been taking. So yeah, got a lot of bits and pieces. See what happens.
In 2011, you were on the front cover of the magazine again, this time with Gareth Lydiard. I asked you about what you'd been listening to, and you said, I have discovered the brutalist school of Russian classical music. Where's your head these days with your casual listening?
I'm really enjoying Charmer Finches, the local folk sister duo. It's sort of like, do you know Charmer Finches? Yeah, the sort of like chamber folk, dark folk. I listen to a lot of that kind of stuff, like Angie McMahon, just sort of that beautiful female singer-songwriter stuff that is happening a lot in Melbourne. And here, what did I hear recently that I loved? There's a local band called Yabby from Ballarat, just straight up three-piece punk rock, garage rock band. And there's, what's she called? My memory's terrible. Yeah, but Charmer Finches have been on my playlist for quite a while now. Yeah. So softer stuff.
Yeah. Brings us to the latest project, which is Bleak Squad, which is you, Mick Harvey, Mick Turner and Marty Brown. Whose idea was the band?
It was Marty's idea. He said he was at the Fitzroy pool one day and just lamenting that he wasn't playing much drums. And then he just had this brainwave to create a jam session with exactly us, the two Micks, me and Marty. And this was pre-COVID, and we went to Head Gap Studios before now it's burnt down, it's not there anymore, terrible. But we were at Head Gap and just met up, brought in riffs or whole songs, and then just pressed record and just recorded what we had. And it worked so well that we decided to keep pursuing it and just finished the songs, recorded them here and mixed here in this studio at Standalone here, and then created a record and just worked. It just flowed straight away.
When you start a new band, you don't really know what you're going to sound like until you actually play together. Was there anything that surprised you about the combination of the four of you?
Well, I'd worked with Marty on my last solo record. He did some drumming on there. So I'd kind of worked with Marty before. And I'd worked with Mick Harvey on some production and for a feature film called Suburban Mayhem, directed by Paul Goldman, fantastic Australian director. And we did a cover of Double Dare, which is a Hoyt Axton track, I believe. And then we did a couple of Gun Club covers. So I'd worked with Mick Harvey at Atlantis before, and we'd kind of worked on live shows as well, doing the Roland tributes. But I'd not worked with Mick Turner, and his guitar style, of course, is really distinctive, which I knew from Dirty Three. So I kind of felt like it was a good combo before we went in. I was like, yeah, we're kind of all in the same, roughly in the same genre and vibe. But yeah, like it worked even better than I thought it would. And Mick Turner's guitar playing is incredible. I just go, how is he doing that? Like it seems like he's improvising, and sometimes he is, but he's definitely got a method. And I'm just learning more about Mick's playing, like I'm getting to know it in the context of being in a band with him. Because it's not straight up, you know, but it works so well in Bleak Squad. So yeah, I'm surprised. Well, I'm not surprised, but I'm really happy that it's working beyond how we thought it would work. Like it's been really easy, really natural, because you just don't know, even if you are from the same peer group or, you know, from the same, you know, your kindred spirits, similar music, sometimes it doesn't work. It usually doesn't. It's usually sort of a little bit, it's okay, you know, we'll get there. You have to try a bit, but you don't have to try. This band is like really easy.
There's a lot of space in the music. There's sort of room for musicians to contribute bits and pieces of noise. Was that a conscious thing? Did you sort of notice that was happening?
I guess what we did was maybe when we recorded, we didn't put too many layers on. So it's more like just a 4-piece jam or playing together. I don't know. I don't think it was a conscious thing. I think we just gave the music what it needed, and yeah, we didn't get too big with it, you know, too busy and too big. Yeah, I think we just sort of just went with the flow and just did whatever felt right at the time. You know, and Mick's guitar playing, I think, is it's sort of the hero piece for a lot of the songs, so you really need to hear it. So, and that's all you need to hear, really, so you don't need to fill in too much. So I think we've just done the essential sort of things and maybe just added a few flourishes here and there. So.
Are you playing much guitar in Bleak Squad? Because you've been doing these theatre shows where you don't have to play guitar.
Oh, I enjoy not playing guitar. So I love my guitar, but I enjoy doing those theatre shows, yeah, because you get to just concentrate on the lyrics and the singing. But in Bleak Squad, I play a lot of guitar. I play guitar the whole time. So, yeah, I'm singing and playing it. I've got a big job.
Yeah. Who's playing the bass parts?
So Mick's playing a lot of the bass, and Mick is singing a lot as well. So between me and Mick, we're kind of at the front, sort of the lead singers, you know. Excuse me. So, yeah, Mick's on the bass, I'm on guitar, yeah, and we're just both equally sort of singing. And then we've got, you know, Mick T on the guitar and then Marty on drums. And then Mick and Marty swap for a couple of songs where Mick's on the drums and Marty's on the keys.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's your first real band since Magic Dirt. How different is it playing in a band as opposed to the stage shows that you've been playing?
It's really different. Because when you do the stage shows, like the theatre shows, the tributes and things, you're kind of not on the whole time. Whereas with Magic Dirt and Bleak Squad, I'm on stage the whole time. And of course, it's different doing originals as opposed to covers. When you're doing covers, you have a different responsibility. You know, I feel really like I need to get it all right across the board. You know, don't want to forget lyrics, don't want to forget chords, or, you know, you want to do it right. Give the people their, you know, what they've come to see. But I guess I feel slightly a different kind of pressure when I'm just doing Magic Dirt or Bleak Squad. It's just less. It is less pressure because it's more in your DNA, your stuff. You don't really have to think about it. It's second nature. But when I'm doing the theatre shows, it's all about. It's extremely. You're extremely. You're just really engrossed in that moment, and you're trying not to forget anything. So it's very technical. But Magic Dirt and Bleak Squad is a bit more organic, and you're sort of. It's a different kind of freedom, a lot more freedom in a different kind of way. Yeah.
I guess the other great thing about being in a new band is that there are no real rules. There are no hits that you have to play.
Yeah.
You mentioned freedom. There must be a great sense of freedom with this band.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Bleak Squad's just started. We haven't even done any gigs, so. There are no rules. We don't know how it's going to go. Yeah, there's really not that much pressure. I mean, you know, obviously you have to do a good show and you want people to love it and you want people to love the record. So it's good. It's good starting out. It's like the first time. So you don't know what's going to happen and you see where it goes, if it goes anywhere, you know. That's just how it is. So I think we're all ready to roll with the punches. Yeah.
There are 9 songs on the album. Were there others that you were playing around with?
There were, and they were left off, but we'll be doing them at the live shows.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a favourite song? I think Melanie is my favourite song.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's nice. Melanie's great. Yeah, that was Mick Turner's, sort of a jam of Mick Turner's that we turned. And he had the lyrics and the melody, but I slightly changed the lyrics, but it's a great one. I really love Strange Love. That's my favourite. That's a Mick T riff that I put lyrics to, and I just think that combination is so winning. Like, it's a great song, and I'm so glad it's been created, you know. So yeah, but there's so many great songs that I really love I love them all. I think we created a really great piece of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there any reason why you selected Strange Love as the title track?
Yeah, we had a couple of ideas that were named after the songs. For a time it was Blue Signs, which is, again, one of the tracks on the record. But we thought maybe that was a bit limiting. Strange Love, there is a bit of a... love is mentioned a few times as a theme in quite a few songs, so that kind of felt right. And strange is a good word because Bleak Squad, Strange Love, you know, it's sort of a bit dark and, you know, it's almost like, it reminds me of like an indie film or something, you know. It's like got a road movie kind of, you know, Wild at Heart, you know, sort of that David Lynch, and then Strange Love, you know, it's got a cinematic sort of quality to it and a bit of a dark quality. So it just felt right. Yeah.
Are there any specific goals for Bleak Squad? Is it something you'd like to tour overseas, for instance?
There has been talk of touring overseas. That'd be nice. You know, both the Mick T and Mick Harvey have toured overseas extensively, and so they know that sort of area of the world really well in terms of playing and touring. So we might. That'd be nice. Yeah, if ask us, we'll come and play and see what happens. But there's no huge goals, but maybe just touring overseas and getting this record out, seeing how it goes, and then just assessing things next year and seeing how it goes, yeah.
Looking back at your career, any regrets, anything you do differently?
I'd probably save a lot more money. That's what everybody says. But then I wouldn't be where I am today. So no, you know, if I changed anything, then I'd miss out on everything that's happened thus far. And, you know, so you kind of win some, lose some, but that's part of the journey. And I mean, not really. I would say not. I've had a pretty great existence thus far as a musician. A lot to be thankful for. Yeah. No, just keep doing what I'm doing. And made so many great friends, so many great memories. Made a lot of good choices. Yeah.
But Adalita, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Greg. Thanks for having me. Such an honour. Thank you.